Hey guys, so I know it looks like I'm in the middle of nowhere, but hey guys, I know it looks like I'm in the middle of nowhere. Well, I sorta kinda am, but I thought to myself, I'm quite busy and I don't have time to, be shooting with Vico this week around. I've got so much happening, and I am blessed that it's a busy time. I mean, when it's not busy, then you need to start worrying why is your life not busy. So I am grateful that I am busy. This is the 2025 BMW X3. This is the 30e. I've driven the 20D, I've driven the X50, which are all live, X3 M50 rather, sorry, and all those reviews are live on my YouTube channel. Now, this is the first one that I actually get to spend time with, because with the 20 diesel, that was a review from BMW Mafikeng, and then the X3 M50 that was at the official launch of this model into South Africa. So this is officially my time spending with it, and after spending some time with it, there are things that I've started to pick up that I'm not quite a fan of, and I'll show you those as we go on. This is the 2025 SA Car of the Year, as well voted by us as the jurors, and I do get it. It is an impressive car overall. For 1.3 million rand, that's what you're looking at for this exact model that I'm driving right now. 1.3 million rand on the dot. And you know what? I'm not too mad at it. I think that it is a good looking car. I just have a problem though. BMW South Africa have told me that for me to drive the full performance variants, the M3s, I've wanted to do a review on the M3 Touring, the M5, and I'm told that I need to do an advanced driving course, but which is something that's really bugging me, because I've seen so many other people who are driving it without that M performance driving course. And I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not one to be complaining a lot, but I've really wanted to sample that M3, especially after driving that C63 SE performance. I don't know if this is a rant, but I just felt that I needed to say something, and it's really, really bugging me. Yes, I do get cars from BMW. I'm not saying they don't give me cars, but the fact that I'm being told that I need to do an M advanced driving course for me to then drive the cars is somewhat irking me the wrong way, especially considering that the people that are driving the cars currently have not done that course in the past year either. So I don't know what needs to be done. Anyway, I'm done with my rant. Let's go on and review this gorgeous piece of kit, which I do quite like within the range. By the way, we don't get a 30D in the country anymore. It's now replaced by this 30E. So let's get straight into it. Now, I'm not sure if I should talk about the designs though, because the one thing I do love about BMW is that whether it's a plug-in hybrid or an all-electric model, the cars all look the same. And that is the one thing that sets out BMW from the rest of the competition. I mean, I'll also mention Volvo in that regard, because all their cars, whether it's electric or it's a full internal combustion engine car, they all look exactly identical, and they don't have these, extreme electric looks that I don't know why manufacturers thought that was a good idea. I mean, besides, apart from the iX, I don't think of any other model that looks extremely, radical in terms of the design. Now, you've got a semi-closed off grille right there at the front. You've got LED daytime running lights and LED main beams as well, which do an amazing job at night. And I do just like the way that it does look at the front there. I mean, we've complained about those kidney grills, but essentially we've had to get used to them. Another thing that I do like are these 20-inch M Sport alloys and those M Sport brakes that are on this model, and it does give it a really good look, especially on this color that we do have here on test this time around. And this, I'll tell you about the ride later on, especially on this alloy. I was extremely surprised as to why this car is so comfortable, especially considering that that's a 20-inch alloy. I thought it would be, bouncy and, feeling every bump, but it's so comfortable. BMW have done an exceptional job on the suspension of this car, and I also mentioned it in my X3 M50 review, if you guys will go and watch that. Guys, before I do go on, I've seen a lot of you guys are viewing my videos and are watching my videos, right? But you guys are not subscribing. Can you please take a moment to just subscribe? And I think it grows, and not I think, it grows the channel to greater heights, and also it gives us access to much more greater vehicles out there. So please go on and subscribe. I am begging you. So under there is a 2-liter plug-in hybrid engine, and it's got an electric motor and batteries, all that jazz, and it'll give you a total of 220 kilowatts as well as 450 newton meters of torque. BMW say that it will go from 0 to 100 in 6.2 seconds, and I do feel that it does do that because of that electric assistance, which is a good thing. They also say that it'll get you 1.1 liters per 100 kilometers when it's fully charged, but that is far from the case for me. I've been getting about 5.8 liters as well as 7.9 liters as my highest. So I don't know if that's a great thing. In terms of fuel fuel consumption, in terms of fuel range, when I got the car, it was sitting on 620 kilometers on a full tank. So that is not too bad. But I do think, obviously, the champion in the X3 range altogether is the 20 diesel, because you get over 1,000 kilometers of range. And that's not even a plug-in hybrid. It just has 48-volt mild hybrid technology. So I think that is a better car, essentially. You then come to the side, you've got this M Sport badge on here because this is an M Sport kit. You've got a big wing mirror with an indicator as well as a 360-degree camera. You also have these flat door handles on here with keyless entry into the vehicle. Some sleek looking lines right there at the top with those roof rails, which are just for design. And I'll turn the car around for you guys and I'll show you. But I do think that in terms of design, at first I first thought, gee whiz, no, what have they done to the previous generation X3? But as it goes and as we see it on the roads, I am starting to like it. This car is also locally built in South Africa, and a major shout out to my friend Karabo, who is part and parcel of this, making of these X3s and making history in South Africa. I won't mention his surname, but he is Karabo and he's one of my closest friends. So yeah, let's turn the car around. I'll show you the interior before we go on and show you how it drives.
Love was so great, and we fell into
So this is the side profile, and let me know what you guys think. I think it looks so good from this angle. As you can see right there, and on your front left, that is where your plug-in, this is where you will essentially charge your vehicle. There's also an M Sport badge right on there. It only has AC charging and not DC fast charging, and I think that would give it an edge over a lot of the cars if it had that AC and DC charging, but it only has AC charging on this car, so it will take about 3 hours for you to charge, and overnight using just a normal plug socket. When you come to the rear, you've got newly designed LED taillights. Your 30E badge is right on there. Your reverse light is down there, which I think is such a nice touch as well. You've got an electrically operated tailgate right on here with a decent amount of boot space. Unfortunately, it's not a lot of boot space as opposed to the X320D, because this has batteries as well as the bigger size fuel tank. So unfortunately, it's not the same size as the X320 diesel. I'll put the liters on screen for you guys. So the 30E starts up on silent because it is a plug-in hybrid, and that is if your batteries are charged, and then it will automatically switch to your internal combustion engine if that is not charged up. Now, I'm a huge fan of plug-in hybrids, and mostly for me that's because you get a lot of range and it just works better as opposed to just your regular internal combustion engine, especially for petrol models. Now, we do know that the champion for the X3 range has to be the 20D. You cannot deny that engine, you cannot deny that range. It's extremely phenomenal. Where this is a letdown for me is that I expected this to somewhat match the efficiency of the 20 diesel, however giving me the speed and the power of that plug-in hybrid. Now, I did mention that you get 220 kilowatts in here and 450 newton meters. Now, the power is instant, yeah, the engine just kicked in there. And it is instant, and this is just me in my normal mode. I haven't even gone into sport mode or whatever it is. The other thing here is that there are sounds pumped into the vehicle, and BMW realized that people might not like that, and you are able to switch it off. If it's not for you, you can switch that sound off, and you can just drive in, like your normal car that doesn't have any pumped in engine noises. And I do appreciate that, because I think they're taking in feedback from consumers that say, listen, this is not a powerful engine car. Why is it sounding like a powerful engine car? And us reviewers as well complaining about that. Now, the interior for me, for a premium car, especially after spending so much time with it, it does not feel for me like it's a premium interior. Now, it does look gorgeous at night. I appreciate the way it looks at night with all these colors, ambient lighting coming in here. That's a nice touch. It's a nice gimmick. This infotainment is massive, it's easy to access, it's clear, it's concise, the resolution is absolutely brilliant, but there are way too many icons in here. Way too many icons. Now, while that is a bad thing, BMW have then came in and said, listen, we understand there's a lot of icons in here, but we have segmentized them, if that's a word. So you get all the infotainment icons right on there, but you can get only specific infotainment icons right on there. So that will give you your Android Autos, your connected drives, your Apple CarPlay, your maps, your weather, and your telephone, your radio, and your media icons, essentially. Then you've got vehicle-specific icons, which will give you your BMW ID, your connected drive store, your airbags, your charging information, and a whole lot. And there's a whole lot of those as well. Your recently used icons also have their own section, as well as your digital premium, which are your stores, your exterior lighting, your driving modes, your windows, etc. Now, that is a nice thing. However, if they did not have that, for me, that was going to be such a big boo-boo, because there's a lot of infotainment icons right on there. I do like the fact that this car is heated seats all around, right? However, you have to still dig into there for you to cool your seats, or for you to heat your seats. And the aircon as well. With these, there was no need for these, guys. Like, just give me a button or something to just move my, vent for me to switch it on or off. Like, this is going to cost people so much money in the future to replace these things when these things start to fail. And fail they will, trust me. And this is just another thing for them to say, when this starts to fail, obviously bring it in. We will do everything for you guys and essentially then upgrade you into a newer model. And you then have the direction of the fan, of the vent right on here, which is why I don't get it, because they do have some physical touch for you here for you to direct that vent. But for you to open or close it, you have to essentially do that. I don't know why. Yes, it's a tactic for them to save money on certain things like this, because obviously it costs them a lot, because they have to order millions of these things to put into the X3s. And that goes as well for the doors as well. For you to switch on your vent, you have to essentially do that as well and kind of scroll it onto there. And I'm not a fan of that. Just give me a button, a physical feel for me to know exactly where I'm angling it. That's it. You then have two USB Type-C's right on here. You've got a wireless charger as well as a place to put your phone on here. And I don't like the fact that there isn't a brace like you get in the X2s and the Minis to hold your phone secure for when you're driving fast. Two cup holders on here which are very neatly secure as well and secure your drink perfectly. An iDrive dial, which makes it easier for you to cycle through various menus as well onto there. This steering wheel is nice and chunky. I do quite like this a lot. And you've got your digital driver's display, which is clear and concise. You do have pedal shifters on this one, and an armrest right in here for you to store things that you want to store. You still have volume knob, which is still a nice thing, and on your steering wheel you can also control your volume. The materials for me, that guys, it's a premium SUV. It's supposed to feel like it. The previous generation X3 feels much more premium inside than this car. And that feels like a downgrade for me. You understand what I mean? So it doesn't feel as premium for me. Hell, you do have a heads-up display, driver's display, heads-up display as well on there. The rear seats are complemented by peasant blockers or sunshade blockers. You have also heated. This car is optioned with the heated rear seats as well, which is a nice touch. The Harman Kardon sound system in here is absolutely brilliant. I do love BMW and the relationship that they have with Harman Kardon. Now, in terms of the drive, it's absolutely surprised me. It surprised me so much because this car is heavy, and that's because of the batteries and because of the tires that are on this car. I mentioned earlier on that I'll tell you guys later about them. Now, I felt that the road was going to be bumpy. I felt that the drive was going to be slightly bumpy because it's, low profile tires. They are 20 inches. But to be honest with you guys, and I think that's because of the weight of the batteries that just makes it such a nice driving experience. Even the way it is, it's like slanted to the ground a little bit, and obviously mostly because of those batteries into the rear. So it's a low point of gravity in terms of your driving position and how it just sits, and it drives brilliantly. I mean, I'm just going to slap this now into sport mode, and also having for me to look down into selecting my drive modes is a bit of a faff. I wish there was a button just for my drive modes easily. Let's put that into sport. You do have different driving modes. Before I do go on, you've got personal, which is essentially comfort. You've got sport. You've got efficient, which is eco, expressive. You've got relax, and all these modes. I don't know why they decide to play certain music when you're expressive. When you relax, it will close. No, don't close. It will close the sunshade just to give you a dark experience. And then you've got silent, but let's slap into sport mode, and there are those sounds that I was talking about. So you can turn those sounds off if you don't want to, because they do annoy me at times, to be honest with you guys. Then I spoke about engine and the electric motors together, and I expected a long range. On a tank, I get 600 kilometers. And I'm just like, why? I felt like I'm supposed to get more. You do get about maximum 90 kilometers of electric only driving, which is a nice touch. So that will help you in terms of you going to school to drop off your kids, you going to work and back, and you can just then come back home and charge it easily 3 hours, or if you're using a normal plug-in point, overnight. And in BMW code that you get 1.1 liters per 100 kilometers, which is far from the claimed. I've been getting here 6.2 liters per 100 kilometers, which is a bit on the downside. Yes, it's a slightly performance orientated model, but I'm not a fan of this fuel consumption. I would have expected something even way lower, something within the 4s, and if it's doing bad, something within the 5s. But hell, we're not getting that. Now, my verdict, the 30D is gone. And I'm a huge fan of BMW diesel engines, especially the performance variants. I always would choose a BMW performance engine over any other diesel engine in the game, and I think BMW have perfected their diesel engines. Now, we know where the world is going. The world wants plug-in hybrids, the world wants electric, and now in South Africa mostly, people were not buying the 30 diesel. People were buying either the 20 diesel, and if it's not the 20 diesel, it was the X3 M40. And they had to cut it because of that price, and now this is where this then comes in the 30E. And for 1.3 million rand, it's about 100,000 rand, or I think about 80,000 rand in terms of price difference between the 20 diesel as well as the 30E. Then it makes sense for me, because then you then get the power and somewhat efficiency in the models. I still would go for the 20 diesel, to be honest with you guys. Spec it to the 1.3 million rand that I do have. Get all these niceties in terms of, heated seats and all these, peasant blockers and whatever it is, the rear heated seats as well. I just would not opt for this plug-in hybrid, unfortunately. This is not a plug-in hybrid that's, for me, doing the job of a plug-in hybrid. It's just performance-orientated plug-in hybrid for me, and not really the efficiency. And I'm huge on efficiency, because when you buy a car, I feel like if you're going to be buying a car, you need to be saving on something, right? So a plug-in hybrid should save you in terms of your commutes, in terms of your long-range distances. So then for me, the caveat is just get an X3 20 diesel. You get 1,000 kilometers on a tank. There's no need for you to be faffing around and still plugging into your house, or plugging in at plugging in at public charging spaces. So why not just get the 20 diesel? Before I do go on, please don't forget, comment, subscribe, guys. Please subscribe, please subscribe, please subscribe, please subscribe. Please, I'm begging you. I've seen so many of you guys. When I see the numbers on the data, I'm like, so many of you guys are watching, and so many of you new people are watching, but you guys are not subscribing to my content. Why are you guys not subscribing? Please subscribe. It just helps us grow. And as Mr. How Much says, support local. YouTube is the right thing to do. Shout out Mr. How Much. So yeah, guys, X3 30E, and I've finally completed the X3 range. It doesn't tickle my fancy as much as the 20D as well as the M50s. And that's just simple, plain truth for me. Should you buy it? For me, I would say just buy the X3 20 diesel, or go up to M50. I don't see why you should be buying this. And that's the absolute honest truth. So yeah, if you're in South Africa, don't forget to always keep left and pass right. I appreciate you so much. Best believe the next review will be me in front of the car. Up until next time, peace out, everybody.